Good afternoon. Wednesday, the 15th of April. If this is the snack you're looking for, you found us. And in about 4.5 minutes, we will commence the last movement snack of the day. I'm blown away by the first person over the line. You're in, Emma. First over the line. Bob, she beat you to it. That's 3 times you've been late today, Bob. I hate to say this. See me after. Hello, Emma. Bob, Northumberland. Gospel clearly got nothing to do. I'm still over the hill, Andy. Yes, I'm still over the hill in Haven't. Good afternoon, everyone. Come on, don't mind the preamble. Don't mind this banter and chatter. We're just passing time over the next 4 minutes to lure you in. Hello, Janet. Beautiful Lincoln. Lincoln's beautiful today. You got the sun. We got the sun too here in Haven't. Good to see you. Come on, any more for any more. It's our last movement snack, and our focus is going to be on hopefully calming, slow, mindful, precise, fluid movements with some sway, which means there's going to be some weight transfer, and then a stretch, some flexibility, all packaged up in 10 brackets-ish. We've eked out a few extra minutes. See what I've done there? Crowbarred in a few extra minutes over time. Has anyone noticed? Shh. Hello, Dee. Dee from Canada, Calgary. Good to see you in a live one. Could everyone wave to Canada, please? Could everyone do that? Thank you. Odile, hello. Scotland's here. Looking at the clock, 3 and a bit minutes, I think. How's everyone feeling after the ankle feast? We had an ankle feast at lunchtime today. I thought about this afterwards. We did front, back, sides. It was like a short front, back and sides on the ankles. Thank you, you have answered the call. I put out a classic, I think, an old classic. Thanks for the waves, Dee. Yes, did you like my call? Did you hear it? Some of you heard it quicker than others. My mum's been singing it in the kitchen ever since she played it. I was out having a trot and a walk when I uploaded that, and when I came in, Mum was playing it and singing it. Who's in? Hello, Somerton. Come on, come on. Carol's just rushed in. Thanks, Carol. Slow down. Stand up tall, stride out, heels down first. You know how it goes. Hello, Christine again. Come on, come on. Wales is in. Come on, Deb. We can't get enough of each other, can we? We on a call this morning for 2 hours. She's in again. Loved it. Jane, was that the, were you referring to the song choice? Killer Low, please tell me I've got that right, Joy. Please. We'll have a minute warning. Creeping in, there's still more creeping in the door, Bob. Thanks, Joan. Yes, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Glad you enjoyed that. It made me smile. Look at this. I keep looking at this. All them ticks. And when I see them ticks, there's 2 ways you can look at this. You can look at it and say, all those ticks represent 10 minutes of movement. And then you can say, wow, what would it be like without all those ticks? So potentially we would have been without all those hours of movement. Precise, mindful movement. Anyway, it was just a thought. Cooey from Hove. Sheila, no, you don't need a cushion. Not for this one. Yes, it's that time again. Hello, Bristol. How was your Pilates, Francis? Nice of you to come back. Remember, all this stuff, these movement snacks are in addition. So, yeah, I'd love to hear what else you're up to and doing. So all goes in the bag. And it's the relevance of that, of course, is that, I think I mentioned it before, even if we are out and about doing structured exercise programs, it's also significant what we do in between those hours. Are we still? Are we sitting? Are we breaking up sitting kind of patterns? Fascinating stuff. Pilates is always good. Yeah, there's lots of Pilates fans out there. Okay, should we do it? Crikey, I've overshot the preamble. Blimey. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon. My name is Bex Townley. We're in week 4. We're in our final week. Well, it was the final week, but not anymore. We're in week 4, Wednesday the 15th, movement snack 3. This is our final 10 minutes today in the bag, accumulating 30 minutes just today. That brings us to an hour and a half tally just this week. Let's continue. This movement snack now is going to focus on some calming, slow, coordinated arm sway movements plus a good old stretch. Let's go. Come on, come on. Always starting with the circulation booster. Pick your position, sit or stand. If you're in the sit, take your hip walk forward. If you're in stand, take up some support, lift and open, and let's start the circ boost movement. Steady pace, small range of movement, knees are low, even steps from one side to the other. Continue with that. In seated, it's the same. Trying to get even movement from the ankles and feet. If ankles and feet aren't an option for you today for whatever reason, we start with the upper body. 1 or 2, bring them in. Just allow a little bit of movement through the trunk on that, so don't be rigid. Lift up and open. We've got the double hand clasp if you prefer. Keep going with that. Arms and legs, or either or in seated. And in stand, I'm going to ask you just to slow it down a fraction and be even more deliberate, even more specific with feet and ankles. Or the same in the chair as well. So have a glance down, stay lifted but have a glance down. Are those heels coming off first? Are those toes going down first? So we generate the circ boost from the feet, not from the hips. Okay, take a pause and have a breath. Just take a moment to sit tall or stand tall or taller. And remember, when we talk about tall, we're really talking about the length in here. And as I lengthen here, I should have an automatic little bit of activity where my tummy muscles just pull in a little bit. But be comfortable so you can breathe. We shouldn't have so much tension. So if we relax and slump, we get a bit of a squeeze in here. What we want to do is lift, lengthen. Please breathe. Just take a moment in that. Sitting tall or standing tall, I just want to run through, I want to do a whistle stop tour of all of these upper arm movements that we've done in 4 weeks. And just see them and pick it up and join in as and when you see them. Okay, I know there's some newcomers coming in. These movements just serve to give us time to think about our movements and our posture. This was the first one we did, and we were looking at standing strong and steady or seated and having the arms moving slow, symmetrical, same pace and speed. So we're just maintaining active posture here. Lift, 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 balance, balance, balance. Support if you want, 1 or 2 hands. That's the first one we did. And we were aiming low, smooth, slow. Good, take a pause. Then we had this one. We had the press and down. Can you see? So we move from straight up and down to this circular movement, and again we're bringing in the wrists and the hands. This one, take a pause. Then we did this one. Remember, hands on the corners, and we move round one place. We move round one place. Or you can do it, you can break it down in bits. And then we started to bring it together as these two circles. And then in between all that, we added the forwards and the back, the swoosh, as if hands in water. And remember, any of these, if you're in standing, we can also do these with hips on a fixed surface, so you can stand freely and move the arms. This is this one. And then we also crowbarred in, do you remember, if you're seated in big arms of chairs, we crowbarred in this one. This one works really nice with the breath in and out. So we've done all those combination of arm movements, but to add to that challenge, we have this lower limb sway, this weight transfer. So pick your position. Actually no, let's go for this offset position, one leg slightly forward, back one. What I'm going to ask you to do now, invite you to do, is select your arms. Which one of those arm movements would you like to do? So here's the sway. I'll work through them again. Remember, let me just show you the seated sway. Buttocks, so important in this weight transfer. Really anchor, really switch on, activate the glutes, set up the same position. The sway is exactly the same in sit. It's very small, it's lifted, and it just shifts the weight across the buttocks and the feet. And even if your feet are here, we can still take a shift forwards and back. So pick the option that you want. You can either have up and down, yeah. It's like a box of chocolates here today. You can have this one, or you can have the circular, or with the sway. So now we've brought in a sway and a weight shift, or you can have the round, or you can have the swooshy through water, fingers forward, turn, come back. Turn, come back. Or you can have open, open, take a pause, have a little release, have a relax. There's a lot of stuff going on there. The slower, the better for these types of movements. All we're trying to do here is think about the weight transfer, the posture, and there's lots of different movements, different elements going on, so it becomes a coordination task. We call this three-dimensional movement, and it's essentially life. Life doesn't work just one movement at a time. So that was just a recap of all our arm actions that we've incorporated with sway. Now let's have a stretch, and I'm keen to start from the bottom up again. So we did a big ankle feast at lunchtime, so let's start with a calf stretch. In seated, the calf stretch is extended leg position, look at the toe and the foot, and then squeeze that back towards you, looking to hold that 8-10 seconds, release. If you want to go in again, you can. If stretching lower leg is an option or not right for you today, you can focus on this back of arm stretch here. Take this one instead, but calf if we can. The standing calf stretch takes up lots of support, both hands on. Step back into that ball of foot. This is where all that ankle mobility comes in as well. And I press the heel down. Might challenge balance, don't want you to, so hold on. And I want you to feel the stretch down in the lower leg. And if you can't, if it's not there, something needs to change. And it's probably that it can go back a bit further. But as you can see, that requires this stretch here also. Now if I lift up, if I lengthen out of here, I'm going to get the stretch there as well. And then while you're there, if you want to, you can take this back of arm stretch as well. Keep using the support, keep using the support. Head is still. And as always, move slowly in and out of those. Slow, 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 slow. Have a little release. Same on the other side. Pick up the position in stand, step back, ball of foot, heel is down. Have a glance, to check this back foot. Have a glance. Are the toes forward or are they slightly out to the side? We want them slightly, everyone's different. It's going to take a while to get into position. What we really want is the toes forward. Lift up here. Support if you need, if you'd like. I don't want you to feel that your balance is challenged here. Keep lifting, lengthening, and then if you want to, you can creep this one in. Holding these positions, 8-12 seconds. In seated, the calf stretch is here. In the sit position, you might need to switch off that foot and go in again, because it actually requires strength to pull that toe back. There's something quite different about a calf stretch in seated. Technically, if we had a debate, we could argue it's harder in a chair, because I actively need to use my muscles to pull that toe back, whereas in stand I can just get the floor to do that for me. It's a debate. It's a great debate. Where were we? Take a pause. Coming up the line then, we're on back and thigh stretch. Everyone to sit please. Slowly down with control. Let's make the most of this. Make the most of this. Slow, slow, slow. Add a hover if you want to. Go. Okay, leg is out and straight. We've talked about the position here. If I just go down now and try to stretch, I won't be able to. I'm in the wrong position around here and around my hips. And we talked about this movement, didn't we? So if you take your hands like this, engage with your hips, and then can you do this? And this is all the length coming here. The checks are release the foot or have it flat, the knees a little bit soft. Only once we're lifted here is there any joy now in finding that stretch. So squeeze forward, slow, slow, slow. Can you see how lifted I am? Lift, 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 lift. And if you can't feel it, you just hinge a bit more. But you just need to find your way around that. But it's all what's happening here. Longer hold if you can, or come out slow, slow, slow. Have a pit stop and go in again if you need to. Just do the other leg. Release the foot, unhook the knee, lift up. There's the position, just shift it out, and with that you'll come more activity in the center areas around the tummy, so pull in your belly button a little bit more, but please keep breathing. She says you can rest some weight through this arm here, but keep square. Just really think about where everything is and have you got the stretch. Once you feel it, stay there, stay there. If your muscle starts to tremble or shake, you've gone too far, and you just need to loosen the bolts a bit, unscrew the bolts, and then come in. Chest stretch, yes. Here we go, sit or stand, it's the same. Lift and open, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together. So when I draw these back, I stretch at the front, and this could be with a bit of hand here. In seated it's the same. Unlike the back extension from the mobility, I don't want a lean from here. It's just the top half there. So I'm definitely not leaning back. I'm not doing what we do with the back extension in the mobility routine. Now from here, let's take a switch. So here my shoulder blades are squeezed together. If I release, have a couple of extra of those. Let's put the hands lightly together. And now let's just pull the shoulder blades apart, literally. So we either squeeze them together or stretch them apart. We're not leaning, we're not bending forward. It's just a little squeeze there. The stretch is there. And release. If you want to, when I'm gone, you can put in the upper side stretch just for a couple of seconds either side. All right, how was that? Stretched. If you want to go around them again, do so. If you like those flowing movements, crowbar in a few more minutes of those. If you're in the garden or doing something and you just need a moment to stand up taller, just take a moment to take these movements, because they really can really help calm us. That's all. Nothing more simple, nothing more complex than that. Just a moment. Have a moment, everyone. All right, lovely to see you. That's 10 minutes, another 10 minutes in the bag. That's 30 in total, hour and a half just this week. And hours if you've been with us since the 23rd of March. Stay with us, keep joining. We've had something like 150 new members in the past 3 days or something like that. Have a wonderful evening. See you tomorrow. Thank you, folks. Keep moving.